Have you listened to our podcast, Chaz, at all?
I've listened to some of them, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know we had sound effects. This is going to be next level.
I like that one.
Yeah, I didn't know this was going to be that kind of podcast.
You get used to it.
This is Lee Hargrave, certified strength and conditioning specialist, former rocket scientist, and 4x4x48 veteran.
This is Isis Hargrave, certified OPEX coach, nutrition guru, and I'm the least likely to do an event like 4x4.
This is Jarod Hunsaker, certified CrossFit coach, facility manager, and I love a good, hard challenge.
And you found the EnduraLAB podcast, where we dive into the science behind fitness,
The ins and outs of better health.
And lifestyle strategies to help you live your best life.
You guys ready?
Let's go.
Yep.
Today we have a very special guest. He is a coach over at EnduraLAB, a fellow aeronautical engineer,
The man,
OPEX
the myth,
certified
the legend.
coach. He's got a heck of a beard, FRC mobility specialist.
Ow, ow.
Chaz Dempsey. Welcome to the
Welcome.
podcast,
Welcome.
Chaz.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You always
Usually
make me
people-
jealous about the amount of hair that you have, you know.
It's the only flex I have.
Truly is amazing, though.
That intro was epic, and usually our guests just like sit there and they're like, hi.
Hello.
Yeah,
Big
I
buildup.
should have said Kelsey lookalike, too.
Yeah, I feel like
Right.
we're on the Travis and Kelsey podcast.
Well, Travis and Kelsey, that's his first and last name.
Wait. Wait,
I
what's
feel
the
like
other
we're on the
guy's-
Taylor and Swift podcast.
Rare to get these two in the same
Jason,
room.
Jason, Travis and Jason.
Yep.
Okay.
Super Bowl champion.
Oh, man.
All right.
Did he win?
Well,
No,
not this
one
year.
of
What?
them
His
did.
team. His
His
team.
team.
did.
One,
He
yeah.
wasn't there.
Yeah, his former
Okay.
team.
Jason never won one.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
When
Yeah.
they won the last time. When the Eagles won the last.
Not this one.
No, the last one they won.
The last one they won.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it wasn't against the Chiefs, was it?
No, they
Was that
didn't
the
beat the
Brother Bowl?
Chiefs. It was,
The Brother Bowl was that
Kelsey.
two?
Kelsey
Yeah.
won.
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
That guy always gets it.
That's about
Anyway.
them.
Yeah, who cares about the Eagles? So today we are talking about an event that we have all done
That's right.
that is coming up at EnduraLAB on April 4th, and that is the 4x4x48 challenge, which is an epic event. I think we can all say we've enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's like a love-hate kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's definitely something I never thought I would do.
No, I would
Right.
never thought you would do it either. but-
But I did it. And then that led to me doing other challenging events. So it was really kind of a mind-opening thing for me.
Right? It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned endurance athlete or, just kind of a weekend warrior type of an athlete. This is a challenge that anybody can do. And we're going to talk to you about how you guys can accomplish it and why you guys should do it, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about just in general what a 4x4x48 event is. Jarod, you want to go through it?
the 4x4x48 challenge was actually created by David Goggins, and it is basically you just run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. You sleep when you can, and you just got to keep moving. Every 4 hours, you got to get up.
It's your
keep
favorite
going.
thing. Just keep moving.
Just keep moving.
Yeah,
Get
that
it
is-
done.
Just stay consistent.
Jared's going to get that tattooed somewhere.
Just get it done.
Maybe forehead.
Oh, that's
eyelids.
happening this time. When you
Yeah.
fall asleep, your ass is getting a 4x4.
Damn.
Tattoo on your
it
face.
just says keep moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about 4x4, and I don't think a lot of people know, is that it's adaptable. So you don't have to run every single segment.
Right.
So you can ruck, you can row, you can bike, you can mix it up, you can run one, ruck one. So really whatever fitness level you're at, you can
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, depending on where you're at too, you could do it for 24 hours if you new to it and you're worried about the full 48-hour challenge. You could start off with a lesser mileage. The idea is just to do something
Move
repeated
that body,
for
babe.
every 4 hours for 48 hours, because the idea that you have to wake up in the middle of the night, you got to battle that fatigue, you got to continuously do something every 4 hours, like that is a challenge in itself. So whatever you pick is going to be a challenge for yourself.
I wish I knew that we could row and bike last time.
I didn't.
Once your feet start hurting really bad, I feel like the bike would be
I feel
a
like,
good
though,
buffer.
if you're like, hey, I'm going to do this running or rucking, like you run a ruck.
Yeah, and if you, yeah.
Yeah, Chaz, did you, and like even you could ruck and then walk, like so alternate carrying weights. Like what did you do?
I did weight every time,
You did.
but I probably shouldn't have. Actually, no, I think I came back for the very last one. No, I did bag up. I rocked up. So, yeah, but you can alternate anything, again, as long as you're moving. But no, I ignorantly went with weight
I don't
every
think
single
that's
time.
ignorant.
No.
Yeah.
It was
That's
ignorant for me at the
badass.
time.
Yeah.
I think it's valiant. It's a valiant effort.
Valiant is a nice way to put it.
I mean, you're practicing for this one. You've got a little bit of training under your belt. I've noticed you on Saturdays knocking out some longer rucks.
Yeah, way more preparation going into this one.
Yeah. I mean,
feel-
we've got a 6-week plan out for people who are thinking about it. Go check it out. It's not intimidating.
Now I was out of my mind during probably the middle part of 4x4, but I
You're
feel
really
like
selling it.
you did really well. Well, I like sleep, and without sleep, I can't think. But I feel like Chaz did really well on recovery aspect. Like you're able to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but able to just like nap and go to sleep. Like I would look over and Chaz is like this mound over in the corner, like a bear. Like you could hibernate in an instant.
Yeah, they could have the party side last year.
Yeah. I was over between the skiers but yeah.
Yeah.
I was impressed at how well I was able to sleep, considering I just put a mat on the floor and said I'm just gonna.
So for those of you that don't know, it is literally like an EnduraLAB lock-in. Everyone spends the night at the gym for 48 hours, and it's so fun. And you're just basically falling asleep where you can. So that's what Chaz is referring to. I think we had blow-up mattresses.
Oh, yeah.
We shared one.
We went bougie.
And some people bring cots. Some people sleep in chairs. I mean, by day or hour, 36, you're kind of doing whatever.
Yeah, because we start at Friday at 6 p.m. So at 6, at 10, at 2, you're going to be completing whatever challenge you've picked for yourself. And so usually the first night is kind of easy, right? And it's not until
Everyone's excited. You got adrenaline going.
that second 2
Second sunset.
a.m. That one's the
Brutal.
hardest, right?
Brutal.
And we've had some really bad weather on some of our events, where it was like a downpour. Of course, everyone finished that one the fastest.
That was the 24-hour challenge where you run a mile every hour is when we had the downpour, wasn't it?
I do
think
remember
so,
that.
yeah. Okay.
I also vaguely remember some kind of weather, but I could just be conflating
I
the
feel
two.
like 4x4, the second one, the one that I did. So maybe the one before that.
Okay.
Have you done two?
Just one.
Just one. We did it together.
I think so.
It was hot.
Yeah,
Remember that
was
first
the
one?
first ruck, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy cow, like 80 degrees. But the other, it's in these segments. So we had routes. We had 4-mile routes each one, and we tried to differentiate the routes, like at least the first 4, right? Did we have 4 different ones?
I think we had 4 different ones.
And
that
so
we
that was
rotated
kind of
through.
fun. And then we made it fun by at night we would do like glow stick and glow portions. And then I remember one of my favorite things is so that second morning you wake up at the gym. We had a cereal bar.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was kind of fun. So I think we're going to try to repeat that this year.
It is fun. And if you've listened to our Misogi podcast, it talks about the bond that you create when you're doing really difficult things, right? And for some people, this may not be difficult, but for a lot of people, this is. So when you're out there with your friends and everybody's suffering through it, like, oh, it's too. Everybody's going around waking everybody up,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's
You
like,
hear
hey,
an
guys,
alarm.
we got 10 minutes. Let's get ready. And everybody goes out
You're
together.
shuffling around, brushing your teeth.
And
all
when
those
you've got 20 people trying to wake you up, it's not like you're going to say, nah, I think I'm going to just sleep. You guys go ahead.
The other fun thing was, I think March Madness was kind of completing. And so we watched some games. That was fun.
Yeah, it was either that or was it
Hockey,
the hockey?
maybe.
Yeah,
Hockey,
playoffs.
and then we had some Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mario Kart. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun on top of completing all the mileage.
So let's talk a little bit about the different approaches. We've kind of mentioned it. When David Goggins originally did it, he was probably running each 4 mile thing for time only on MedRx and Club Crackers, which Isis would probably thrive on if she just could get some Karo syrup.
Yep. Keebler and the corn syrup.
Yep. Keebler and Karo.
Keebler and Karo. Yum. Yeah, because remember, was it, oh my gosh, who was running like so many miles? He was the endurance guy.
You're talking about Zach?
Zach. Yeah. He was turning it into like, how did he do it?
Well, he did he started off with the 4 miles every 4 hours, and then for the last
Like 12
8
hours.
or 12 hours,
He
he did
just-
4 miles every hour.
Yeah.
But he was
What?
preparing for the backyard bash, which is
Yeah.
a 4 miles every hour. It's a last man standing race.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so he was getting ready for that. This guy is also a lead man. So
yeah.
if you don't know what that is, he completed the 100-mile Leadville 100. Well, I guess 100-mile Leadville. Leadville 100 trail race, the Leadville 100 bike race, the Leadville 50-mile. It was either bike or run, and a Leadville, it's like a 10K or something like that. So he did all of that within a very short time frame, and he is a lead man.
And it's really inspiring. It's to say, not to say like, oh my gosh, only people like that can do it, but to be amongst those people that are doing that, it's very motivational. And he was so supportive
Yeah.
during our run. So,
But I
that
think
was
if you think
fun.
about walking 4 miles, I mean, Chaz, we were walking with weight. What was your lap times for 4 miles?
I was probably sitting around just sub 20 when we
Okay.
kind of got into it. So first few rounds were probably a little
115,
faster.
120. Yeah.
But
So, I mean, you think about that. People should be able to do it, right? So you could come out and just walk.
yeah, go in an easy recovery pace. I like to do that in the night when I was more tired, was definitely take it slower. And then during the sunlight, like early morning runs for me are my energizing hours. And so I feel like I could run those still easily, but
Yeah. Jarod, did you run all of them last year?
I think I started out running, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to ruck, and then started rucking just because my feet started hurting bad, and just 4 miles running, I'd rather take the extra time to just walk through it. Suffer a
Yeah,
little
less
bit
impact.
Yeah,
you know?
less impact.
I think the other fun thing about rucking the event is there's a lot more conversation
yeah.
in your 4 miles, right?
yeah, who
Yeah.
is in your group? for the
Oh,
rec?
shoot. I don't
Jay?
Jay did some of
That's
them.
right. On some of them.
On some of them, I can't even remember.
I want to say we rucked together a
Yeah,
lot.
he rocked a couple times. I don't know. I've purged a lot of that from my
Probably
memory.
Matt and I know
Yeah,
we rucked.
we had
Yeah.
I think it was like with the 2 and the 4. Like some of the late nights,
Yeah.
we had a little more ruckers.
Of course,
But,
the conversation's a little slower. You'll just find yourself walking in the middle of Fort Worth in
Yeah.
silence. With
Night
10
one
buddies.
night one is real chatty. Night 2 is
One thing
Not
I
so
don't
much.
want to repeat is the night walk through 7th Street.
That
That
was-
shit was great,
That was
crazy.
fun. I like that. You see,
No,
I
we're
like
gonna
that
get
too.
so
shot.
Yeah.
on, like
No.
two
Yeah.
different worlds are like coming together.
Yeah, I thought it was
We
fun.
had our
I
glow
know,
It was like
sticks on,
entertaining.
I liked it. I liked it.
passing all
Yeah.
the bars. No, that was scary.
Saw
I
some
can't-
We
interesting
went like
tattoos.
90 degrees to the bars, you know. It wasn't that crazy.
Yeah. A lot's happened between the last time we've done it and now, so we're going to avoid that area at that time. Yeah, but I feel like if you want less impact, you can definitely achieve that. And then if you want to go hard, you can. It's really up to you.
When
Yeah,
that was
so-
sorry. One of the big things that drew me in. I'm certainly not an endurance guy. Anybody that probably doesn't get full frame in me in this camera.
Whatever.
But what made it feel achievable was it's so accessible, right? Yeah, I can walk 4 miles every 4 hours, or especially if you bring in running or rowing and biking. It's
Yeah.
more about just finding something that's difficult for where you're at, moderately difficult, however difficult you want to make it. But kind of the grind is in the repetition, the duration. And so even though I learned a lot of lessons about how it's not as easy as just walking 4 miles every 4 hours, it's still just the fact that it was that accessible to somebody who doesn't come from an endurance background or, any kind of long distance training was what got me the first time. And now I got to get back and finish it.
Yeah, Chaz is, training for Olympic lifting right now. And he's going to throw this right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
right?
nothing
And
like,
Murph. I mean, you're doing push-ups
and Murph.
lifts and running.
This is good prep for Murph. That mental strength. Grind through it no matter what.
Yeah. For me, it wasn't the running so much. While that was really hard for me, it's the lack of sleep. And I hear that a lot from people when they're questioning this event. They're like, oh, I could never not sleep. And that just sounds horrible. And for me, it's funny because it's kind of like a little bit of a break from everything. Like my normal is, the mom life and like taking care of the kids in the house and work. Like this is just an event where I get to focus just on running these miles. And it's actually a little restful is what I found. I was like, oh man, this is kind of nice. Yes, challenging, but like I slept hard in those like 2.5 hour rests.
Yes.
And
so parents out there, if you're looking to escape
your
family
family
life for 48
that
hours,
sounds terrible.
join us at EnduraLAB on April 4th,
But it's true.
6 p.m.
There's actually one of our members. He's like, yeah, I'm going to have my wife go on a girls trip, got a babysit for the kids. I'm locked in 48 hours. I'm just focused on the goal.
Yeah.
The
Same
event.
thing.
Who is that?
Patrick.
Reed.
Oh, really?
He's like, I'm good. Got my schedule cleared.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, he is.
He's a motivator for sure.
Yeah.
So I think if we were doing rowing, I'm trying to think of where I would put the meters on that. It'd probably be somewhere around 8,000.
Yeah.
Like an 8,000 meter.
I never know the equivalent.
Well, usually we would row about 2,000s for a mile run.
Uh-huh.
So 4 of those 8,000, somewhere between 7 and 8,000, and then bike you would double that, so somewhere around a 15K.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely doable. All those should be about the same time frame too. Actually, you probably get them done earlier.
Yeah.
It's just the fatigue on a row. You would actually see some grip fatigue.
Yeah.
Remember
that would get old.
We had the guy doing the Masogi.
The pull-up. Yeah.
JP.
JP was doing
His
pull-ups.
poor hands were like so swollen after, I don't even know. He did a lot. I can't remember how many.
So we had an athlete who fully dove into the Masogi. I think he tries to do, at least one a year.
Yeah.
And while we were doing 4x4x48, he was like, hey, since the gym is going to be open, do you mind if I try this challenge? And of course, if somebody tells me something that's going to be very difficult, I'm like, absolutely. I would love to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a set cadence, set pull-ups for as long as he could. And I've never seen hands swell. Mm-hmm. And luckily we'll talk a little bit about it later, but we have recovery at the gym. So he was dunking his hands in the cold plunge and just anything he could do to keep going. And I think he made it. He was trying for 24 hours, and he made it real close. May have been like 18 or 19, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was somewhere there.
I mean, he physically could not continue.
Yeah, it was crazy. The cadence was so quick.
It was.
That I don't even know if he could really eat food if he was doing like gels or just like a smoothie or.
Yeah, because he had, I want to say it was like it wasn't an every minute, but it was like every 2 or every 5. It was a quick cadence. So he was, down, shake it out.
And I think for a while he had the clock, the timer with the sound, and we turned it off after a while because it was like beep, beep. And he probably had that ingrained in his head for a while.
Yeah, so if you do plan to escape the family or plan to take on this challenge, no matter what, there's a certain level of mental and physical resilience no matter how you approach it, but you got to have a game plan to survive 48 hours. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the lessons learned that we did. We learned the hard way that maybe will help others take on this challenge.
Yeah, for me, And you think I learned by now, but hydration is everything. You need to be on top of your electrolytes and fluids like way before the event even happens. And then during the first 4x4 that we did, it was really, really hot and you're losing a lot of salt. You're sweating. You need to hydrate. But it gets lost because 4 miles is kind of quick. You think like, oh, I'll carry like a handheld or something, and you maybe are drinking, and then you get back to the gym and everyone's having a good time, and it's not in the forefront, but you really have to be careful with that. It really hurt me in Tahoe on our first marathon. I had to get an IV. I was like out, and it's just something that like, I think I'm on it. Everyone thinks, oh, I drink a lot of water, and you're just not. You need to get ahead of it. So I think that for me with this, going into my second 4x4 and my ultra too, my first 50K, I almost passed. I had to eat like a salt tablet. I was completely drained. Again, it was super hot. I think I'm doing well, and it's just not enough. Water is sometimes not enough. You need electrolytes.
Dehydration is where you're going to see the first bit of degradation in performance,
Oh,
especially
yes.
in a endurance event. And if you've done any kind of long endurance events, you'll understand they actually weigh you when you check in. So like if you did a Leadville 100, every time you check in, they weigh you to make sure you haven't lost too much, basically water weight.
Yeah.
Because that is so important. So yeah,
It's really
hydration
interesting.
high up there, right? How about you, Jarod?
I would say mine would be pacing, because once the event starts, there's going to be a lot of excitement. We're going to be trying to like finish the 4 miles as quick as possible. Take it slow, nice, easy pace, because we got 48 hours to go.
Oh, yeah.
So pacing, and then also a little bit of ego. So even after your first 4 miles, you're like, oh, I feel good. I don't need to stretch or foam roll or hydrate or eat. I say eat, stretch, do all that after every 4 miles.
Yeah, I'm young.
Absolutely.
I don't need that. These guys over here, though, they need to be foam roll.
I mean, I think of how much, Jarod, you've learned about fitness, health since that. When did we do it? Like 2022? I think it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think like
21
Chaz,
or
I blocked out a
22,
lot of
yeah.
it out.
Both. I think we did 21 and 22, and then we were like, nobody's going to
And I
want to do
think we
this
did.
again. And then
I
we
want
did
to
the
say
24
I did
hour.
like 2020 as well. I don't know. I can't remember. I've done this so many times now.
Yeah. Veteran.
Just
Humble
for
brag.
fun.
Yeah, seriously.
It's,
Like,
just
so
one of those
cool.
sayings. ISIS was the one that was like, no more 4x4x48.
I just think after a while it loses its appeal. And most of the people that are doing it again this time did it last time, and we're like all ready for it. It's like when you have a baby and you forget how hard it is to have a baby.
Now,
This
were
is what
you-
this is.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, you get that, guys?
Yeah. Were you on the 4x4x48 where we had the runners come in that we didn't know? They were all from from a local run store.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, and they didn't survive.
That is the biggest.
They made it like 3
example
rounds.
of ego check, right?
Yeah.
So we had these big runners coming in from a local run store, and they were like, "Yeah, just tell us where we're going. We're gonna do this, no problem." They made it 3.
Yeah,
I think
they
3
dropped.
rounds, maybe. Like someone said that he fell in a shower. Remember that?
Oh my God.
Some
Forgot
guy
about that, yeah.
like hurt his ankle. I mean, so it's one of those things, and they blazed the
Oh, yeah.
first. I think they were running
smoking it.
like
Yep.
6-minute miles on each 4.
Oh, you definitely have to pace it.
Yeah, that did not turn out too well. So, just another example of ego check. And for us, it was just kind of one of those things where I think every EnduraLAB member made it. And then you got these big time runners that come in that are not thinking about, hey, how do we actually sustain this and have a plan? And they burn out after 3.
I think also the not thinking that you know everything. So people come in and they're like, I've been using my shoes. These are I know what I'm doing with this. I know what I'm doing with that. And we're like, man, you really probably should change out, or here's what you should do for recovery. Like Jarod said, roll out. I'm good. It's kind of like, no, be receptive to coaching, be receptive to any kind of.
Yeah, we're running the event because we've done the event. We know how this goes, right?
We know how you feel now and how you're going to feel later, most likely.
So, Chaz, how about you?
Yeah, speaking about how you're going to feel later, mobility and active recovery, and not just not ignoring all that. Even if it just takes you kind of 10, 15 minutes, do a little bit of mobility work, do some foam rolling, do something. What certainly caught up with me was, I walked in, I brought a gym bag, box full of MedRx protein bars, one pair of shoes.
You're like, I'm going to do this like
I was
Goggins.
like, yeah, this is like, what? It's you walk 4 miles every 4 hours. What's the big deal, right? So it's easy. The first few rounds, you don't feel too bad. Then all of a sudden it starts catching up with you, and you just want to get home and lay back down and all that stuff, and just totally ignoring all that mobility stuff, totally ignoring any kind of active recovery. That just catches up with you when you get into hours 24, 28, 30, So a lot of that'd be my biggest recommendation, lessons learned, is having not just focusing on active recovery, but kind of having a plan for, hey, every 4 cycles I'm going to dip in the cold tub or something, right?
I was going to say, are you going to incorporate that this time?
Oh yeah. That was my biggest. I got shoes that feel good, multiple pairs of shoes. I got a bunch of my element packets, and then having some kind of plan for recovery going in, because that's what gets you through miles 36 through 48.
That's amazing how your legs can feel at fatigue, right? You got this lactic acid kind of building up, and then you hop in that cold plunge. It's like you got new legs.
I'm
it's
excited
wild.
for that. I don't think I did that last time.
I didn't.
Did you not do it in the 24-hour?
I can't remember.
I think you did, or some people did.
I can't remember.
That's
one
a sweet
cycle.
thing. So if you do the 4x4x48 challenge at EnduraLAB, you also have access to cold plunge and infrared sauna.
And the boots.
The boots.
Yep.
I remember the boots for sure.
Yep. So that is a huge help to help survive this challenge.
And I think this time, too, we might have a masseuse available. Maybe
Oh,
a few
yeah.
masseuse,
Yeah,
massage therapists.
little flush.
So that'll be really helpful.
Also, a little hidden gem I found out last challenge was a lacrosse ball to the bottom of the foot. Feels
Oh,
really
yeah.
good after,
Mhm.
especially rucking, the time on your feet.
You want to take care of your feet. You want to take care of your calves. And then it's going to be, hip flexor or glutes, depending on how you're tight. But if you don't, foot care is going to be huge. And that goes from if you're going to wear like anti-chafing, what kind of socks, what kind of shoes. Because
And we have a list for you. If you sign up for the 4x4, we'll hook you up.
you'll find out that is the most important thing, because if something goes wrong with the foot, you can't really get around that if you're rucking or running, right? So that's a huge thing. I think Jay Davis would definitely, I think his first one, his feet were messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just one of those things, and we'll help you with that, obviously. But again, I would think about, of course, I'm laying this out, like how I'm going to sleep, how I'm going to plan everything. So for me, I have a sleep strategy. When I rucked, I consumed all my calories for that 4 hours during the ruck. So I'm guzzling my water.
Smart.
I'm getting all my food in because I can do that while walking. And then that way, when I got back, I could either just do a quick mobility, or I could take a shower and hop in the cold plunge. But I had a distinct plan for how I was going to eat and how I was going to maximize my time in the 4 hours so I could get a nap when available.
Which is interesting, because to me, I don't like to drink my calories. He can drink them. He likes smoothies. He likes all of the like tailwind stuff, which I learned to like the more I've done endurance stuff. But what's funny, Whitney wants to do it, and she's like, yeah, I'm doing it because it's my chance to eat all the fun snacks. Like, you have the table of absolute crap that you can eat because you're just going this whole weekend. Now, you might not feel the best after that, but
I'm going to try to do this one on beef jerky and creatine gummies.
yeah, right. And like gummies and like M&Ms
Pretzels,
and cereal.
Oreos, all organic though.
What was fun
Gluten-free.
was all the
Non-GMO.
people that brought us fun goodies. That was fun, like donuts or whatever. Like people came out of the
so
woodwork.
many
Those donuts were clutch.
Yeah.
I feel like we should go
Tacos.
and try the Krispy Kreme challenge someday
Oh, gross.
in North Carolina. Have you heard that?
Oh, what is this?
You have to run a 5K, eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts,
Throughout?
and run a 5K back.
Ugh.
And it's a pretty strict time domain that you have to.
Wait, so you don't have to eat it while you're running. You run to a destination.
You run to it. You
Eat
get
the
your
donuts.
box of donuts. You have to eat it. And I mean, people are like taking 6 and
Smash
smashing them
them.
together.
I don't feel like a dozen is a lot.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like a lot until about 2 miles into that second
Yeah.
5K.
I would
Yeah.
say until you start, like when you start moving.
I'm kidding.
I
It doesn't
bet
feel like
you-
anything. You should try it.
I
Yeah.
bet you
Yeah.
I could do it.
There we go.
There's only one
heard
way
it
to
here,
find
folks.
out. Yep.
I don't
Next
even like donuts.
podcast. ISIS runs a
ISIS
Donut.
throws up into a
cream
bucket.
10K.
I think I could do it.
Okay.
Because the thing is, here's my thinking too, even with the 4x4, is like, it's not a race to me. It's an event.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Right.
Kind of like the 29.029 that we've done. Like, I am not racing to compete against anyone or a time. So I am going to enjoy the process, enjoy the event, and do what I'm capable of doing. So, yes, I could run a 5K, eat a dozen donuts, and run back.
Okay.
Okay? Where is this?
I think it's North Carolina.
North
I think
Carolina?
that's the birthplace of Krispy Kreme.
Oh.
The good thing about Krispy Kreme is they kind of melt in your mouth, you know, if you get them at the
Yeah.
right time.
They're very airy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see you eat a dozen donuts. You don't even have to run a 5K.
Seriously, that
Although
is so
she would
unlike
have
me.
to,
That's
she would
the
have to run,
challenge.
yeah, probably a 10K afterwards to feel good about herself.
She'd just keep going. No.
I'm going to look into
I'm like,
this.
where did ISIS go? Oh, well, she had a dozen donuts, kids. I don't know when she'll be back. You know.
Might be all day.
Yeah, so I think to kind of wrap up the event, if you decide to take on the 4x4x48 challenge, which we hope you do, it is a super fun event with a really cool community. Like I said, you're going to probably walk out of there with a few more best friends. But whether you decide to run or ruck or walk or row or bike, I think our key takeaways are pace yourself and plan recovery. Stay on top of your hydration and nutrition. I would throw in protein. We didn't talk about that, but I did say the beef jerky plan. Listen to your body and prioritize mobility, right? Especially those feet. And then get your mind right, because this challenge is just as much mental as it is physical.
You can do it. If I did it, you can do it.
Yeah, just know that ISIS is like a huge sleep.
I don't mess around.
You
when
can
it
ask
comes
my
to sleep.
kids. She
My
doesn't
poor
mess
children.
around. I mean, we're having dinner at 4:30, and she's hitting the sack at 7:30 at night.
Okay, maybe 8:30.
Whoa.
It's a late night. You know, apparently we've tried to watch an episode of one of our shows. I don't know. And she did it.
I did do this event.
So if you are also think that you need lots of sleep, well, maybe this is why that you're trying to do this challenge, right? What do you think, Jarod? Got any final thoughts? Just keep moving.
Just keep moving.
Yeah.
Stay consistent. I'd say to help you sleep. I don't know if you have like a special comforter with you, or even
Your
after
blankie,
the race,
Jarod?
your blankie.
Who was that on
Stuffed
Peanuts?
animal.
Linus? Did Linus have the blanket?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Linus-
That was
Linus
before
the
my
blanket.
time.
Before your time,
Before
please.
your time, please.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch I watched Barney.
I watched Cyber Chase. It's like a math show.
We're not talking about you.
We watched MathNet. Was it
Yeah.
Matt? Wait.
Chaz, you're younger than I am.
Not by much.
How old are you?
Actually, I'm 36.
Yeah,
Way-
I'm 39.
way younger.
You're way younger.
Yeah.
I
But
turned 39 on
I've got more gray hairs than you.
My kids thought I was younger than ISIS for the longest time.
They did.
All right. How about you, Chaz? Final thought?
No, I'd echo what you said. Have a plan. Know how you're going to handle your recovery. So mobility, recovery, nutrition, and hydration.
Yeah.
But don't try to figure it out on the fly. Have a plan going in, and if you need help, like I said, we'll have some resources you guys can get.
We have a training plan.
We have a training plan. But if you don't know how to prepare, ask, because just showing up and trying to gut it out.
That's what happens when you have two engineers on the podcast. Right? It's just like, what do you do? Plan.
Put it in an Excel spreadsheet.
I plan more. Sometimes I don't even do the thing. I just like planning it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my
That's the
favorite part.
Yeah, that's the best part.
How about ISIS?
For me, we'll put, as far as resources, planning your gear. So gear is really important.
Yeah, your packing list for the lock-in.
Yep. And then I would say, just like if you're looking for a mental challenge, I mean, this is a really good way to prove to yourself, not even anyone else, that you can do something that is extremely challenging. This is extremely challenging, but we're here for you. It's going to be so much fun. I would say that it definitely, like, the community and the experience, like, really outweighs any kind of pain that you may experience. And that is temporary. It will go away. So,
side note, how fun would it be, since we are so close to the gym, to do podcast check-ins throughout the event?
oh my
That would
gosh.
be
You know, like
good.
bringing somebody in.
Yes.
Like
A
every
couple
loop.
first timers.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple.
Oh,
That
is
would be fun.
epic.
Actually,
That'd
that
be
would be
really
cool.
That's
I mean, that
actually
would
really
be so
epic.
much fun. We can have it set up and just ready to go. So we come in, boom, turn everything on.
Be a part of the EnduraLAB podcast.
Yeah, this is a call out for anybody wanting to be on the podcast. You have to do the 4x4x48 challenge.
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah.
So yeah, if you're up for the challenge, join us on April 4th, 2025.
Oh, if you're signing up, sign up before March 21st, because the cool swag are some EnduraLAB slides. So speaking of recovery, some
I saw
sweet
that.
slides.
Some slippies.
Yeah.
Slippies. And I need to order those by the 21st so we can get them on time.
And we'll put the link to sign up in the show notes. And if you have a buddy or someone who wants to join you, or you think needs this challenge, please share the podcast and get them signed
Give
up
it to
too.
your wife. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe
Your
just
family.
send the calendar invitation to the family. Let them know that you're going to be out.
Out
But,
of office.
No matter what, we hope to join us. And if you do, we'll be with you along the way all 48 hours, helping push each other to the finish. Thanks for tuning in. Again, please share and subscribe. Until next time,
Keep moving.
Eat well.
and stay strong.
Bye.
Peace.
Stay over.